Virginia Beach. I want to be on the beach right now.
Never been there.
Oh, you haven't?
Mm-mm. I mean, I've probably been through.
Yeah.
Do you go through there on your way to like Florida? Is that something you would drive through if you're coming down from Jersey?
Probably.
Because then I did.
I just want to apologize on that email. I sent it out late last night, and I did not realize that the link to the actual image went here.
Yeah.
But then it said click here, and it went to last week's.
Oh, okay. Well, that's disappointing. Huh?
That was disappointing.
Well, they're lucky to get an email. Oh, you need your mic on.
I guess I need. Man, it has been a week. So the kids.
Every week is a week in our house.
But it's
it turns out every week is a week for everyone.
The kids have been on. So Mateo's been on spring break for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Ava's been on a spring break for 1 week.
Mateo's been on spring break since January, since December. Oh, yeah. Good times.
So there's a lot going on at the Spag household. So we appreciate your patience with us. Mm-hmm. But hey. This is our time to kind of
unwind.
I'm doing the Alexis.
What's that? I don't understand.
If you watch Schitt's Creek, you would know.
Oh, okay. I need to. I just haven't had a chance to.
Hang out with me when I do my IVIG.
It's a blast.
It's so much fun.
A lot of fun happened down here.
But this is the Woodworking Morning Show.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Nicole. And this is when we talk about woodworking.
Talk about the news, stuff that's going on.
What's going on.
Wood Whisperer stuff.
Thank people for being so kind. Our audience, I'm going to say it, is the best audience on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I've seen them all. I've reviewed them all myself. This is definitely the best one. For sure.
So if you are in the chat room, we do have preloaded questions from Patreon and YouTube. But if you have questions, please feel free to drop those questions in the chat. And I will be kind of collecting them to the side, and I go back to them. And of course, if you really want to get your questions bumped up, the super chat option is there.
Turns out we notice when you give us money. It's just a thing.
It's a thing.
They allow us to see it, and we go, oh, we should answer that question.
We should probably answer
But no,
that
we try to
question.
answer as many as we can. So the live ones, I mean, the pre-selected ones are fine. We appreciate those, of course. But the live ones are fun because I never know what they're going to be.
I feel like we're not talking to anyone. Like, we have a lot of YouTube supporters, but no one has questions.
Well, I also think YouTube is not the same kind of platform as Patreon.
Yeah, well, and
it doesn't reward that level of interactivity in the community section. It's an afterthought.
It is,
right?
Yeah.
And it's just it's a YouTube thing.
It's a whole YouTube thing.
But we appreciate the support either way.
But I did want to just thank because I started doing this now. These are the oh crap, what was this one? Was this Patreon?
Don't know.
Oh yeah, it is Patreon. So these are some of our longest.
I'm just watching your voice is loud. I'm trying to figure out what's different. Go ahead.
Just me. I'm different.
Keep going.
Chris McCoy, Robert Murray, Square Splinter, Bill and Britt Doran. I did not know they were Patreon supporters.
Yeah, Punish Props.
Punishprops.com. Bill and Britt, I love them dearly. Been friends with them since the early days of the Wood Whisperer. Go check them out. Go check out their YouTube channel, especially if you're into like building like video game props or movie props. He's brilliant. Him and his wife are brilliant. And then we got John O'Brien, Brad Majeski.
That's a spelling.
Majestic.
Sure.
Sorry. Adam Zet. I feel like Adam's also on YouTube.
I don't know.
John Fisher, Mark LaRose, and Adam Hawk.
Nice.
So I do this. I'm starting to do this. I do this every week. I mean, I try to. I don't know. Sometimes we only focus on the new ones. Mm-hmm. We're focusing on the old ones, the ones that have been with us for a long time.
It's impressive.
Because we are
the dedication.
Old. We are very old. And I just wanted to say thank you to that set of people. Next week, I'll have a whole nother set of people to say thank you to. Let's see. Oh, we do have something. Today is
National Hot Tub Day.
Hot tub.
That's exciting.
We're going to get in hot tub. Hot tub.
Who likes hot tubs in here? Show of hands.
He hates hot tubs. I love hot tubs.
It's people soup. There's nothing that makes me want to get into a bowl of people soup. It's so nasty. You have to add. It's worse than a swimming pool, right?
But there's a lot of chlorine.
You have to add. Oh my God! You have to add so many chemicals to make this people soup safe. It's disgusting.
I like hot tubs.
We had when we moved into this house. Actually, this is the second house that we've had where there was a hot tub when we were.
No, our very first house had a hot tub.
Yeah, but they kept it. No, because of that experience. No, what I'm saying is they left it there.
We kept it.
Because of that experience, anytime we've gotten into a house that has a hot tub, we're like, get it out of there.
Take it.
I want nothing to do with this hot tub.
You
know what I'm going to do with that line? I found the line in the attic, the 220 that was running to the patio. I'm going to yoink it, and I'm going to take it out to the garage, and I'm going to plug in a heater. That's what I'm going to do with that hot tub. It's not for me. If it's for you, no offense, if you're a hot tub person. I've seen people who like, especially in cold weather, they like that contrast.
We have a neighbor that has the tallest hot tub I've ever seen.
It's deep, yeah.
It's like, I didn't know they made them that tall.
It's like a bowl of people pho. It's a big ass bowl of soup.
I like it when you make me laugh.
Good.
You're also a jerk.
That's my job.
You're such a jerk, though.
I am.
I'm sorry if he's offending you.
That's what I said. If that's your thing, it's your thing.
I do like hot tubs. Hot tubs.
Hot tub.
There is a funny SNL skit with Will Ferrell and Rachel Dratch.
Oh yeah, when they're in the hot tub.
They're in the hot tub. And it's one of my favorites.
Isn't there an Eddie Murphy one too?
Well, yeah, he's James Brown.
Yeah.
He's going to get in the hot tub.
Get in the hot tub. Ow.
Ow.
Okay.
I just wanted to also thank Ryan Smith, who reached out to us.
Oh, yeah, good
and
dude.
Was very tenacious because we are terrible emailers.
Took a long time to get to this.
He was very patient with us.
It's like, hey, I want to make you a free sign.
And we're
Send me the stuff. And we're like, I don't understand. Can you be more specific?
I don't understand. And so I just sent him everything. And so he screen prints this. This is like legit.
Wow, look at this.
This is nice.
Look at that.
Look at that. That's nice.
I like it because he really invoked the brick theme of the shop, right? Like that's super cool. That definitely represents our shop.
I really didn't know what to expect.
Neither did I. And then he showed me one sample, and the brick color was really off, right? And he says, "Well, I'm colorblind." I was like, "Well, okay."
Steve.
Okay.
Ryan. I said Smith.
Amazing.
The tenacity is amazing.
We really appreciate it.
Go check out smithmakes.com. There he is.
Maybe we could have him make a bunch of these. I mean, we got a nice little stack.
He gave me, I think...
Should we sell these?
50. I don't know if I want to sell them. I kind of want to...
Does anybody want these in their shop?
I was going to... The whole point was for the people that came to the classes, I was going to have you sign it.
Yeah.
And then give them one for attending the class.
Sure, but that's only 15 of them.
Right, but...
We could start buying them from him.
Yeah.
And then people can pay a few bucks to get one of these badass little posters. I don't know. What do you guys, do you want one in your shop?
I don't know.
That's the question.
I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, you did notice because you chimed in a smart ass.
That's how you know I noticed.
I put up the Process is the Project poster in the Guild Facebook group for and a lot of people, I was really surprised how many people had not seen that. And it was another guild member that had reached out to me recently and said, I lost the poster. Can I get another one, or can I make one? And I was like, here's the file. Here you go. And so I might put those in I almost kind of want Ryan to make it because I feel like he's doing something. I just love how.
So is his website smithmakes.com?
Yeah, Smith Makes.
Okay, smithmakes.com if you want to check out what Ryan's up to.
He has an Etsy store and everything.
I love it.
But I just wanted to thank him. It was very kind and very generous to do that and to put up with us.
Yeah, appreciate that, Ryan. That's really cool of you. So there's definitely going to be one up in my shop. Just let us know if you guys want one up in your shop.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can figure something out.
We can figure something out.
Okay.
And I just wanted to, I've had this here. I wanted to, Maverick abrasives. Mm-hmm. You ordered some stuff from them.
Yeah.
And they gave us this Active 8 foaming cleanser. And I don't know if Maverick watches us, but thank you for the skincare. I'm not sure.
It's an odd choice.
May
I see?
I probably should just email them. It opens up like a little boxy.
It's all fancy and complicated.
Yeah. Oh, nope.
Nope. That is not how it opens.
You went the other way.
Very good at opening boxes. I'm the kind of person who forgets that there's a little Ziploc thing, and I just rip it open. Nicole comes in and why did you...
With the Dino Nuggets, they have that thing where you just pull it, and he always cuts it open.
Well, and I'm not even eating the Dino Nuggets. I'm opening it for the kids.
I know.
This is great. Look at this Active 8 foam.
Yeah, I kind of want to give it a try.
I love it. I love that we're also giving Maverick Abrasives a plug for giving us facial cleanser for a product I purchased.
I know.
It's not like this was just... I
just thought
Mark has bad skin. Let's make sure. Let's help a brother out.
I don't know. I want to know. I want to know, like the idea behind the marketing. Like, did someone accidentally put it in your order?
This was something like an employee ordered. It just came in from Amazon, and they're like, "Oops!" And it went in with my my sandpaper.
Like, they're like, where did my facial cleanser go?
I know it was here before.
Oh, we found it.
Now it's in Missouri.
It's in Missouri.
That said, if you want your cleanser back,
I know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you're doing a side hustle with facial cleanser.
I'm sure it's what it always is.
Yeah,
it's a free gift that they send to their customers.
Yeah. But usually you put a reason, like, hey, enjoy this extra thing.
Yeah. It's just off the wall for sandpaper.
Yeah. So Maverick, if you're watching, let us know. Yeah. I'm so curious. I'm more curious than anything.
Shall we get to updates?
I guess we can get to updates. I also wanted to say that I'm back into 3D printing. I got my printer going. This is my fidget star.
Just cranking out those VOCs in the basement. Like you do. She loves it. She's in there huffing it.
Yep. It's not like, oops, that one broke. Okay. It's a PLA.
Still not great.
Okay.
Okay. Updates.
Give me a bamboo.
Sorry for the delay on... Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Wood Whisperer store, twwstore.com. If you placed an order recently, we've been a little bit slow. My mom's been out of town helping my brother move.
Yeah.
She'll be back soon, but we kind of she left town, and we were like, oh, that's right. There's a store.
There's a store.
And I went in and had to pack a bunch of orders. Nicole went in, got a couple. So, we're a little slow on the store stuff, so bear with us.
I sent... Did you put anything in them?
Yeah, facial cleanser. Every package that went out. You buy some sandpaper. Also, here, clean your face. Clean your dirty face.
I put in an extra pack of sandpaper in some of them, or extra stickers and stuff like that. So.
No, because I was in there packing orders, which is my least favorite thing to do, and it was a lot of just get them out the door.
Get your fidget.
Yeah, give me a fidget while I'm in there.
Give me my fidget. Don't break my fidget.
I do have a picture of this. I wanted to show you guys my second shop.
Ooh,
I've been working diligently getting my home DIY bike repair space.
Can I show it?
Yeah, that's why the picture's there.
There you go. Ooh.
Trying to just get that to be a space that's productive. And I'll tell you, it's really weird when you do have a dedicated workshop and you're trying to do this in a home garage. I mean, I realize it's a very specific situation. Most of us are putting our woodworking, our kid-related stuff, our DIY home repair, all in the same space. I kind of know how to do that. But when the purpose of this is just two things. It's bike repair, and it is house DIY related things.
And usually my boxes that you can see one of my boxes that
I kicked most of them out of the way because that is the Amazon box landing zone.
Yeah,
But it was actually a real challenge, but a fun one to try to figure out how do I want to make this dual purpose. And there is a few little woodworking related things in there as well, because I do need to use a miter saw at home and do home projects and things like that. So I'm pretty happy with it so far, and I'm excited. I do work on my bikes there too.
Dean, before we even got to this, even asked, have you ever done a tour of your garage workshop?
No, Dean, I haven't. But I guess we're doing one right now.
We're doing one right now.
I mean, the rest of it just looks like a garage with tote storage.
A lot of tote storage.
Lawn care items, and I have a little potting bench on the other side for plants.
So can I ask you about what happened with the California compressor?
Yeah, well, it pooped the bed.
Did it catch on fire?
It smoked.
It smoked.
So it could have just been a capacitor that needed to be replaced or something. I haven't had a chance to look into it.
Did you contact them to say, hey, dude, like...
Do I look like the kind of person that would take the time to contact?
No, you don't contact anyone.
Do I look like I've got the time
to
contact them? No, I didn't. And that's probably what a normal person would do. I chose not to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I have the other one there on the other side of the garage for spare parts if I should need it. But shout out to Wall Control.
Wall Control.
Not an ad.
Well,
but
you bought that one.
Yeah, I really do love their stuff. We've got it all over the house, and it's great for just good quality utility pegboard storage that's just super durable.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that Powermatic stool over there.
Oh yeah, the classic Powermatic.
Yeah, that one went to Jason.
I was going to say,
we borrowed it.
Didn't you get it back from him?
Yeah, we borrowed it from Jason to use for the classes. And then when I said, hey, classes are done, you want your stool back? He goes, nah, keep it. I don't use it. So I figured bringing it home would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just throwing this out there, Wall Control. I have a craft room. I would love to put some Wall Control in there.
Let me say something about that. I'm going to pull one of my mom's moves. Let me say this about that.
Let me say this about that.
I do love Wall Control.
Yeah.
I don't love hanging it.
Okay.
One panel, fine.
All right.
4 panels, and if you're trying to catch a stud.
Right now, the only ones we have left over are the little ones, and I have like a white one and a blue one.
I'm not debating the need. I'm debating my willingness to install it. It's just a pain in the butt to hang.
Who are you kidding? You're going to install it.
No, I know, but still, it's going to bother me. I'm going to complain about it. You know what? While we're doing picks, last time you had CNC is running in the notes, and I said, not really. Not really. Well, this time, it actually is running.
Is it a real...
Check it out.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a video.
No, that's not a video. But it is the grid work that I made using Microjig's match fit system. They have a CNC work holding system. And for a novice... pulling that off was actually very difficult because it's 2 different bits. You got to plow the slots first, just a little bit shy of the full depth, and then you go back with the dovetail bit and do the same pattern again. And getting all that done was a little bit tricky for me as I'm still learning. I'm very much a beginner. So I was ecstatic when I got that result, and now I will never touch it again. I'm never going to do anything again. It's perfect.
No, I'll mess it up for you.
But the CNC work holding system that they employ is actually really, really cool. And I'll have a video on that coming out. Oops, excuse me. Coming out pretty soon. So the CNC is running, and I'm excited to get started with it.
It's so exciting. You know what we also forgot to mention? Your pre-order for the...
Oh, geez. We just blew right past it.
We blew right past it.
You want to play the clip real quick?
Yeah. Can we play... Is it okay if we play a clip for you?
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Does the area under your table saw look like this? Or this? Or this?
Well, good news. It doesn't have to stay that way.
I've designed a compact, all-in-one table saw cabinet with all the storage that you could possibly need. Here's what makes it awesome. Metal pegboard on the sides. It's compatible with standard hooks and perfect for magnetic accessories. 6 deep drawers for spare brakes, grippers, featherboards, hold downs, zero clearance inserts, and much more. Want to geek out? Use Kaizen foam to create custom inserts for your dado stack. And I even have a file cabinet style storage drawer that keeps all the table saw blades safe, organized, and ready for action. In this 10 video course, we'll build this cabinet using high quality cabinet construction methods, techniques that you can apply to any future cabinet project. And when it's done, you'll have a functional, durable storage solution that might just become a family heirloom, if that's what your family's into. Pre-order now and save 20% off the regular price. Head to thewoodwhispererguild.com for all the details.
Look at that.
There it is.
There it is.
People have been asking for that for a while.
Yep.
The story behind this with the table saw table or cabinet, I may have told this story before, but that I had to design and build one for Powermatic. This is back in the old Arizona shop because they were going to consider selling it.
That's right.
Yeah, so they wanted a prototype. So I designed it, built it, shipped it out. They never did anything with it.
I didn't realize you shipped it out.
Yeah, it never came to fruition. But after I did that, I was really not enthused about building another one because I had already built it. So how many years later, like over a decade later, I finally got frustrated enough with that situation, that storage situation.
It took 10 years to get over it.
I'm really holding a grudge there for a little bit, and decided it was time to build a new one. So this one does everything I needed to do. It's very straightforward. It doesn't have as many of the gimmicks that you might see in some of the ones you might find on YouTube. This one is just straightforward storage. It just looks clean. Everything's where you expect it to be. I love having it in the shop.
I'll put a link in
the
chat, and also it'll be in the show notes if you'd like to go and pre-order it.
Yeah.
The full thing will be out on April 11th. But here's why you should pre-order when you see these courses in pre-order. You save 20% on the regular price, and if you're a Guild Plus subscriber, you get an extra 5%. The other thing that we're going to start doing is we want to thank you for pre-ordering. And I now have a way of finding my pre-orders very, very easily. And we haven't decided all the details yet, but are you leaning towards...
what I'm leaning towards is there's going to be a bonus.
There's
we don't know what it
bonus.
is. So stay tuned. If you place your pre-order, even if you don't know what the bonus is, we will be doing it retroactively. Anyone who's pre-ordered this course will get whatever this bonus is, and we'll let you know what that is. The thing is,
maybe it's a poster.
Nicole came up with this idea literally 20 minutes ago.
I have an idea.
So we need to figure out what that idea actually is and how it's going to work, and then we'll let you know.
I have all the great ideas.
This is sort of a trust us situation.
Yeah. Well,
buy it because you want the course.
Yes, buy it because you want the course.
Obviously, but there will be a bonus. We just need to figure out what it is.
We will have a bonus, and if you've been with us long enough, you know that we come through on our stuff.
We do.
We do.
I just gave a dude some customer service, like a serious customer service.
Like, did it feel good?
It felt so good.
What kind of customer service was it?
Well, I won't tell him who it is.
Okay.
He'll remain anonymous.
Okay.
But there was, he said, I thought I had unsubscribed from Guild Plus.
Yeah.
And I was billed. My credit card was billed. And I looked at his account, and that wasn't the case on our end. I don't know what's going on his end. And I asked if you could supply a screenshot or something so we can get this resolved. But I was, as helpful as I could possibly be and very friendly. Yeah. And it turned out, and you guys, this might be interesting to you, some credit card companies, maybe it's the bank, are actually saying upcoming anticipated charges. Oh. So this was listed for him as an anticipated charge. Oh. It was never going to charge, and it hadn't charged, but he didn't know that feature was added, right? But it was a very friendly interaction. He thanked me for being as genuine as we seem to be.
Did he stay Guild Plus?
No. So F that guy.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, we're not.
I'm just kidding.
I actually did have someone say, "Hey, when does
piss off then?
When does my monthly end? Because I want to sign up for the year and get the free 3 months."
Oh, right.
And so I'm like, just let it run out.
When you can't access the stuff, that's how you know it's over.
That's how you know it's over. But hey.
But look, it's one of those subscriptions, and I know people have subscription fatigue.
Yeah.
Like I know we have subscription fatigue. I get it. So some people are going to pop in. They'll watch the monthly video. They'll pop out. You're not hurting our feelings. We just appreciate the support.
Especially because we put the streaming course up ahead of time. If you go to the calendar and you scroll down, you'll see all of the streaming courses. If you were to buy those, like own them permanently, it's a lot more than $24.
Hell of a lot more.
The course that's currently streaming is the quilted bent lamination quilt rack.
Yeah.
But April 4th is when the gaming...
April 1st.
April 1st, sorry. Did I say 4th?
Yep.
April 1st is when the gaming table comes out. And that's always been
the gaming dining table.
Popular one.
One of the best sellers in the guild.
And a little hidden feature of that is the gaming coffee table is also in there.
That was added later.
So
bit of a twofer.
You might just want to do Guild Plus for a month. April would be the month. So
It's a good month.
It's a good month to join. And you can find all that information over at thewoodwhispererguild.com/plus.
Yes.
We got tons of questions, and we just got 2 super chats. Mr. Robert Price, the bonus will be the video of Mark in a wig.
Not anymore.
No.
Turns out that's not politically correct anymore, Robert.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it
Depends on the wig.
It depends on the wig.
Also depends on what else I'm wearing
This is
while
true.
wearing the wig.
This is true.
We've made mistakes.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean me. Although you authorize
I did authorize
things.
I remember I was going through our photos, and I found you in one of my tank tops. And you were like doing the salsa thing.
Oh yeah.
It was so funny. He honestly just does a lot of stuff to make me laugh.
What is this kickback voicemail?
Okay. So we got a voicemail
I don't get that.
on our number, and he wants you to call him back, and I don't have the heart to tell Chris
That I don't call my mother back?
we don't do that.
I don't do that.
This is how we answer questions. So
We should do a voicemail line or something for this show. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
You guys want to leave us voicemails and we can play them on the show?
There's actually a lot of new technology that allows us to do that. Like, you could just call in and we could talk to you.
Well, I don't want to talk to people live.
Oh, okay.
That would be a mistake.
Okay.
We're not Howard Stern. We could be, but we're not. No, I like the idea of having people be able to submit questions via a voice line.
I mean, I had it on Ladies Elite, where we had people leave voicemails and questions.
Well, we do it on Wood Talk too.
But
this is a live show. I'm saying actually be able to do it here would be great.
Okay. I'll look into it.
Okay, should we get to questions?
But yeah, Chris did have a question. Chris, I'll reach back out to you.
I still don't understand the question. It's about miter gauges.
It's regarding the minor gauge review.
Yeah, but this is voicemail transcription, and I don't think that actually is what he said.
What's a miger?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I should probably listen to the voicemail.
I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a rabbit hole, and you should get out while you still can. Okay, so questions come in from Patreon. That's patreon.com/woodwhisperer, as well as here on YouTube, the YouTube membership deal. And we only have a few, but we'll grab as many as we can, and we'll grab some from the chat room as well. Let's see. So this was actually left last week. If you're on Patreon or YouTube and you see every week we put up a call for questions that we then use on the upcoming show. I also say in there, if it's last week's post or if this is an old post, don't leave your question. There's very little chance we're going to see it. Leave it on or wait until the next one is posted to say, hey, give us your questions. That's where you leave it. So I was lucky to find this. This is from not that Aaron, the other one.
The second Aaron?
I guess it just says not that Aaron, the other one. That's actually his screen name.
Okay. Okay.
He says, I'm building the Guild jewelry box for my daughter. Actually, I'm building one now and another one 2 years from now because I have 2 daughters. For efficiency's sake, would it make sense to make 2 at once, but I won't be assembling the second one for years? Now, I know those unassembled pieces could end up looking like the contents of the nacho tray at a Super Bowl party before I get to them. That being said, how far would you mill these small pieces, if at all, before you put them away? I'm fortunate to live in a super stable and temperate climate. I rarely see much seasonal movement. Some of the lumber is heirloom from my grandpa's house and irreplaceable, so I only get one shot. I may be talking myself out of this. You have talked yourself out of it, and you made the right decision. Don't do anything. Leave the wood raw as possible and deal with it when you're ready to build. If you're unfamiliar with what we're talking about here, the more you mill your material and you get your joinery in place and then do nothing with it, the chances of that thing still being flat and square and getting that assembly together easy, it's slim to none. So it's best to just not do that.
And why should I care?
Yeah. It's best to not do that. Leave the pieces as rough as possible and deal with them at that time. But I do have another question. Why aren't you building them both right now? You say, like, I get the idea you want to delay the presentation of the gift because your other daughter is not old enough yet. But why not just build both right now while you're doing it and then, wrap it up and put it somewhere safe until the time comes to present it. That's how I would handle it, unless you just feel like postponing it and doing it again later, which is certainly a possibility.
We got a super chat from Tristan. Morning, everyone. Hope all is well. I work in an old shop. Past people haven't maintained it well or at all. How would you go about cleaning and organizing an old shop?
Well,
So you weren't on our watch along this past week on Wednesday, but Greg picked out, I think his name was Alf
Sharp?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And his shop was something to be seen. It was a mess. It was a total, utter mess. And I looked at that shop going, oh my God, how would you even try to clean that shop?
Yeah.
Like all the wood kind of shoved in and everything, years and years and years of time, you build up these habits. And it's like, I almost feel like you have to just take everything out.
Well, that would be my first step. Is
everything out.
Get a big dumpster. Get a big dumpster. Yeah. I would be looking at what can be salvaged and what can't. There might be things that you can reuse and might actually be fun and quaint to kind of include in the new shop space to be able to... Oh, we're on low battery. That's not good.
I got it.
So I would definitely clear out the old, make room for the new, but see what value you might have in some of the old stuff. You also want to be careful. If it's really that old of a shop, you should be careful about environmental hazards and things like asbestos. Obviously, in
certain
the firehouse.
kinds of woods that we just found out. What was
that wouldn't be a problem here. I forget
Bavarian.
I think it was a kind of rosewood or something. But that's really...
I called it the Bavarian rosewood.
Yeah, that's only a factor if you're cutting into those species. But you do want to be careful about just old shop stuff. Lead paint is another one, right? So you want to just be aware of those things.
Asbestos.
Protect yourself while you're working around. I've had situations where I've heard of people going into an old space, they think everything's fine, they're not really wearing protective gear, and then they uncover the problem as they're working, and then they're like showered in a sea of asbestos fibers, like not great, right? Yeah. So protect yourself while you're doing it, but I would definitely be gutting as much as I can.
Hazmat suit?
Maybe. Keep the things that seem like they might be reusable, keep them out of a landfill, reuse them if you can, but start over fresh. And it's just everything else is very building and situation specific, so I can't give general guidelines until I know what you're dealing with.
I always feel very, like if I'm feeling overwhelmed by a space, I will just get boxes and I will just dump everything into those boxes and I pull it and I clean the slate.
Yeah.
And then...
I thought your thing was to put stuff in boxes and then just leave them in the boxes and leave them in the hallway. I thought that's...
I do that too. But there's always intention.
Oh.
My doom piles have intention.
Sure, the best intentions.
And yeah. He's not wrong.
I love sitting next to
my
wife as she's giving organizational advice.
I organize pretty well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Yeah. We have another super chat from dang it. I always misspell his name.
Ian.
No.
Owen.
$5 towards the phone in the show, but you have to impersonate Mike and Mad Dog. I don't know what that means. So, like a like morning show.
Sure.
Like have phone calls.
The phone-in show.
The phone-in show.
Yeah. I don't know who Mike and Mad Dog are. I'm sure it's like a radio personality.
We're more Howard Stern people.
Yeah, real old school stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't know who those are.
Yeah.
Okay, Bobby C.
Or no, Owen.
That's what I just said.
Owen.
Bobby C says, I'm making a serving tray out of a wine box for a friend. The box includes engraved markings and an ink signature from the vintner. The signature means I can't thoroughly sand the surface for fear of erasing it. Looking for a finish that will lock in the signature and not dissolve the ink. Also, I don't want the engravings or sanding imperfections to telegraph to the final surface. Thinking that sprayed lacquer would work. I don't think it'll dissolve the ink
and I can build up enough coats to at least mask the sanding imperfections. Your thoughts? Yes, Bobby. I think you've done exactly what I would do with that situation. I think lacquer is probably a good choice. You do want to make sure a couple of things. If you are dealing with one of these surfaces that has that dye or that stain, make sure it's horizontal and flat. And then when you apply the lacquer, keep it thin. You like just a little light misting coat, because if there is anything where the lacquer has lacquer thinner in it, and lacquer thinner can certainly reactivate all kinds of different inks and dyes. So that's why I want it to stay flat, and I want you to go light. If you pool the material on the surface and it does redissolve it to some extent, it's probably going to dissipate and get all muddy and gross looking. So keep it flat so there's no runs, no risk of runs, and then keep the coats very light. Slowly but surely, even if it is sort of something that's dissolving with that finish, you can kind of build your coats up lightly until you're at the point where now you're just spraying lacquer on lacquer. You're not really impacting the ink beneath it. But I think you're on the right track. I think lacquer is a good choice. Shellac is another decent choice for something like that to try to lock in that color. But same applies to shellac. It's got denatured alcohol in that, which can also dissolve all kinds of inks, right? So just keep it flat, keep it light, and then build
Joe
your coats.
told me that Mike and Mad Dog were a New York sports call-in show, and that tells me right there why I don't know. I don't follow sports.
Yeah, I don't follow sports
We're
either.
not. I mean, it's not that we're against sports. Like, I played a lot of sports growing up.
Well, I watch.
I enjoy the Cardinals. I go to Cardinals games.
Yeah, I watch baseball periodically. I
Yeah.
watch football. I do not listen to shows about sports.
Yeah, I don't.
So I would not know who they are.
Only when I go into Firehouse Subs and it's on, like, the TV.
And I'm pretty sure, though, if this were our scenario, I would be Mike, you would be Mad Dog. Okay? Don't you think?
I don't know these people, so I don't know if I should agree with you.
But I would like to call you Mad Dog. Mad Dog Pitts over here.
It feels like a Red Dead Redemption video game character.
Sure. There probably is one.
Mad Dog.
John wrote in. He says this summer I'm going to build the hybrid workbench that's in the Wood Whisperer Guild.
Yep.
One of our 2 workbenches. My current
Both.
workbench is 35 inches tall, and I'm 5'8". My back is not the greatest. I only use hand tools for finesse operations. Could I bring the height of the bench up to 38 inches and still be comfortable? So here's the thing with workbench height. Typically with hand tools, we like the bench to be just a little bit lower so that you can kind of engage with the work. You could bend your knees and get your full body involved in the process. But that's more the hardcore hand tool woodworking style. If you're doing kind of hybrid woodworking and maybe you're using a powered router at the workbench, this is stuff that benefits from having a higher workbench. So it's a little bit of a back and forth. Now in his situation, bad back, he's 5'8", not terribly tall, and he is not going to be doing heavy-duty hand tool stuff, just finesse work with the hand tools. So I do think he's a candidate for bringing the height of the bench up, but exactly how high and what's comfortable is really hard for me to say. So what I would recommend, especially, John, especially with the back situation, only you can answer the question about what's comfortable. What I would do is go to the kitchen, bring a couple extra boards into the kitchen if you can. Your kitchen should be, those countertops are about 36 inches. Pile a couple of boards on top of that, bring out a hand plane, maybe don't actually use it, but or do. But go through like some of the motions of what you might be doing in the shop. Just by putting a couple boards on top of a 36-inch countertop, you can get pretty darn close to that 38. 38 strikes me as a little bit high, but it might not be. But your back will tell you. So use the kitchen as your testing area. Bring a few boards in there, bring it up close to 38, and just see how it feels.
Ken, I definitely don't have 20/20 vision. Mad Dog was, I'm guessing, a reference to the alcohol.
Oh.
Wasn't it? But isn't it?
I don't know. We're off in a territory.
Yeah,
I don't know what
but
we're
I
talking.
don't have 20/20. I actually wear glasses.
So our non-glasses state,
Yeah,
I have better vision than you do.
he does.
But I just wear my glasses because I want everything to be perfect.
I don't like it because it makes me dizzy. I only wear them in bed when I'm watching TV or if I'm at a concert and watching
But at a certain
far
point,
away.
you're not going to be able to read.
I can see everything here is 20/20.
Yeah.
It's back there.
Does something happen when you wear glasses? Have you ever seen this? Like, if I take my glasses off for a while, I feel like I look normal just without my glasses. But as soon as a person takes off their glasses, they always look like a mole that just came out from underground. And they're just like, do you know what I mean? Is that something that actually happens? Like, I feel like I have that now.
I know when I...
It looks strange. They're like... like do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I guess.
Does something happen to their pupils that makes it weird?
I don't know.
So when someone takes their glasses off for a picture and you capture that moment, they look like they just took their glasses off.
Yeah.
But is that just my association because I know that they had glasses on before that point?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just my imagination.
I don't know. I like you in glasses.
I like looking like a mole that just saw the sun for the first time. Okay.
Oh my God. I have so many questions, and about half of them are about wood talk.
Oh, good. Let me just finish these and then we'll go to yours.
Okay.
Kent is making a sofa arm table, basically a C-shaped box that slides over the arm of the sofa, which, by the way, I want to make some for our couch.
What?
A C table.
The C table.
Yeah, that goes over the arm.
Well, I have that sort of C table up there.
Yeah, I know. And the stupid vacuum, everything we bring into this house has to be evaluated for whether the freaking vacuum is going to get stuck on it. It drives me
It's not a
crazy.
Roomba, it's a Eufy vacuum, but it's like
They'll all
Roomba.
be the same.
They're all the same.
Everything is on stilts in our living room now to satisfy our laziness. Okay, Kent is making a C table. He's going to use Rubio, wants to know if he should be worrying about the oil staining the fabric, or after proper curing time, everything will be fine. I would not worry about that. I think once Rubio is cured, give it at least a week. Usually 7 days is plenty, I think, for Rubio. But I don't think it's really going to be a problem. Can't think of a situation why it would be. It pretty much gets fully cured. So I think it'll be okay. Broad Narrow Band 795 says, now that you've had it for a while, how do you like your SCM bandsaw compared to the Minimax 16 that you used to own?
This came out on YouTube, by the way.
Okay.
From YouTube, yeah.
I'm interested in what you think about the blade guides, what blades you use with it, and how you decide what blade length to pick in the range that it can use. Okay, so we'll go backwards. In the range, aim for the middle. A lot of times companies will let you custom size it, right? So go somewhere in the middle. I can tell you that the blades I've been using, so Alex Snodgrass came out to my shop to visit back in Denver. I had the PM 1500, great bandsaw. He bought me, I believe it's 153-inch blades. That is at the very lowest end of the range of what my new saw can take. So I didn't want to get rid of the blades. I kept the blades even though I sold the saw, and I am still able to use those. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but it does work. So anything within that range is perfectly acceptable, but if I were choosing the size, I would aim for roughly the middle of that range. The bearings on it are fine. The side bearings are fine. One thing I don't like, you guys have probably seen this, when you have the thrust guide in the back of the blade, right? And it's a bearing, except for the bearing is turned so that the flat is addressing the blade. Maybe someone can tell me why that's a good idea, but I do not like it. And that's what this one has. It's not my favorite. I think if you're going to have a bearing in a thrust guide behind the blade, I really like to see the bearing turned in the orientation that it naturally wants to spin, not with the flat. Because ultimately, the back of that blade constantly hitting that, you end up getting, little micro cuts and things like that. That eventually you start to see little sparks as you're cutting it, and that's usually the back of the blade contacting that bearing. I don't know why companies do that, but maybe I'm just ill-informed on that because it's a really high-end bandsaw, and that's what they do. So I don't understand it.
Bobby C actually emailed you, and I just noticed it. And he said, I pre-ordered the table saw.
Yeah, but I didn't finish.
Oh, sorry.
I was still answering the question.
Oh, I thought you were done.
Nope.
You paused.
I took a breath. Jeez, Nicole, settle down. Usually it's me that's in a rush. You calm down. How does it compare to the Minimax? It's on par. Everything I loved about the Minimax that I missed when I had to get rid of it, I have back again with the SCM, right? And then some. So that's, 2 thumbs up. Now you can go.
Bobby C wants to know, I pre-ordered the table saw storage project. Would it be possible to get the lumber list in advance? I may have an occasion to make a trip to Toledo plywood next week, and I could add the lumber for the cabinet.
Holy Toledo.
So
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I have the preliminaries right here, and I'm probably going to send one of those to Greg, since he's our resident Canadian who's going to review our metric plans, which would be nice.
Did you tell Greg that, or is he finding out right now?
No, he offered.
Oh, okay. I know he offered, but I didn't know if you had said that would be amazing. Thank you.
Well, the thing is, when you do the metric, we typically just do a conversion.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of like loss in just this simple conversion. It wasn't built in metric. It was built in freedom units. So it's you really should have someone who's building in metric review them for common sense things. It may just be a millimeter here or there.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will improve the quality of our plans.
So
I got the email. When I'm done here, I'll send Bobby the
Bobby
list.
In
fact, as soon as I have the list, that's when it gets put on the website.
And it'll be underneath the little plans and...
Yeah, like the requirements.
Yeah, the requirements tab.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just saw that email. I was in your email.
Well, thanks. Get out of there. We're doing a show.
I'm in your email.
Get up out of there.
Email. All right, so I have a lot of questions.
Let's do it.
Stumptown. Did I miss the announcement about Wood Talk? I feel like there hasn't been an episode in a while. And he says, any updates on Wood Talk?
So a lot of questions about Wood Talk from the same person?
No, there was another one. Somebody else asked about Wood Talk. Or maybe it was just Stumptown.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the one guy. Okay. So here's the deal with Wood Talk. The new year came around. We had those 3 classes to prepare for, and I figured, you know what, we got the show out that we got out, I think in January.
Yeah, it was January.
And then I got so busy focusing on these classes, rejigging the build itself.
And we got the CNC.
A lot of deliveries. And on top of it, you guys know, we don't want to dwell on it too much, but the health troubles in our household are making things really difficult. Do you know how many times I've been to the shop this week?
0, 1.
Once.
I haven't been in weeks.
I had a half day in the shop. This is one of those times where if I had the kind of job that would allow me to take family leave, I would be on leave right now. This is a time where I'm really needed here as much as possible. And unfortunately, the internet and algorithms are very unforgiving for things like that. So it's been a constant challenge to get in the shop. So when that happens, it really comes down to focusing on the core things that, to be honest, keep money flowing, because that's what we need.
Because we need to pay our employees.
Yeah, we have employees that need to be paid.
Yes.
So that's what's happening with Wood Talk.
That's keeping us well.
Yeah, the guys have emailed me and said, hey, we're going to record. And I'm like, I just don't have the bandwidth right now. I cannot. So Matt and Shannon were totally willing, but I wasn't able to. So we do hope to resume soon, but no guarantees. I'm just kind of hoping things lighten up. We also have, I don't think it's not an NDA or anything, but we are talking with a potential sponsor. And obviously if a sponsorship is a factor, well, then we work.
Yeah. Then we do it.
Then we do the show,
yes.
And it will happen soon, if that's the case. So and I hate not giving people notice.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of times when they happen because of things like this, the decision happens well after the last recording, and you don't get an opportunity to go in and say, "Hey, everyone, sorry to we didn't let you know. We got an unexpected break. We'll be back in a few months."
Yeah.
So
right now, so I might look well, and I sound well right now.
Some might say you look good.
Oh, thanks. But I have a lot of bad moments, a lot of bad days, a lot of ups and downs, and
this is her 1 good hour a week.
I give it
and
to
she's
you.
giving it to you.
I give it to you.
Because the rest of it's not great.
Honestly, for me, I love doing this show because it makes me happy, and when I'm happy, I feel better. Yeah. And so that's why I'm really kind of all about watching comedies and going to comedy shows and just doing, finding things that bring joy in my life. Getting back into 3D printing, finding these little things. Interacting with our community is huge for me. So what you see is an invisible illness of an autoimmune issue with both me and my son. And it's anybody that's dealt with autoimmune knows that it's a roller coaster, epilepsy as well. So just to be transparent. And it's all very new to us. So
it's very new, and we're also in the problem solving phase with certain treatments in place, and we're just kind of in a wait and see, hoping things are going to get better, but also bracing for things maybe like this is the way things are now, and we have to figure out how to survive. So
just to be transparent and know that we're here, and we're all, I mean, we really enjoy our job and our channel, and
we're lucky to have the situation that we have. The flexibility that we have. We've thought countless times, if you had to go to an office.
Oh my God.
Like, how would we pull that off?
My old job, there would be no way I would
it wouldn't be possible.
I would have had to quit. I wouldn't have been able to do that job.
But the thing that becomes real challenging in the position that we're in is, again, the internet can be very unforgiving and doesn't care that there's a health problem. And if you miss a certain amount of time, that's damaging to the business. It's actually really hard to bounce back and recover from things like that. So it's a lot of stress. It's why I'm on a bike, more than I'm not anymore, is because that's my stress relief.
It's a self-care.
It is definitely self-care. But being hit with both of them at the same time, and then again, if I'm the primary breadwinner because I have to be in the shop, then that means she's home watching the kid, and the kid is also having these issues, and it just makes it real.
Yeah.
We're not going to make a habit of talking about health on the show. I want this show to be a relief from your problems, right? Yeah. This is where you go to unwind. You don't need to hear our problems, but sometimes they find their way in.
So I was on a podcast with Andrew and Tamar.
Oh, yeah. The workshop therapy.
The workshop therapy podcast. Okay. They invited me.
Oh, I got to listen to that. How nice.
I don't think it's out yet. I'm going
to make sure.
I just recorded it yesterday. I talked a lot. I forgot a lot. So one of the things with epilepsy is it's a very common thing as I don't remember. I don't remember.
You don't say.
I don't remember. And I was like, I multiple times, and I'm okay being that vulnerable. I'm okay showing that side of me. Mm-hmm. Because that's me right now. And it's actually been me for a long time, and I just thought I had a bad memory. But there's a shirt out there that just says, I don't remember epilepsy awareness. And I'm like, I kind of need that shirt.
Yeah.
So, go check out the Workshop Therapy podcast. They're doing their thing. They're great. I love them. I honestly, I was like, I'm going to probably take over your show. I'm sorry. I haven't podcasted in a while. So I'm very talkative. All right, so Dennis wants to know if you have any antique tools.
I don't know that I call them truly
antique. My dad gave you some rusty tools one time.
Yeah, I think if anything, so her dad used to like to go to flea markets and yard sales, and he would often find a hand tool or an old hand plane or something, and I would just get a gift out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So those can
sometimes
thought
of you. That was his little...
Yeah, so we would adorn the shop with them. But outside of that, I don't really have any kind of antique stuff. I don't pursue the antique stuff unless it's like small scale. For the same reason I wouldn't buy an old car. Like, that's just not my thing to tune up an old thing like that. I am one of those weird people that just likes things to be new and shiny. So I don't have a lot in the way of antique.
I love antiques. I love them. I probably got it from my dad.
Yeah.
I mean, my Hallmark ornament.
Oh, right,
1980s, 1990s Christmas tree.
Yeah, that nightmare of a tree.
That is still up. Mm-hmm. I won't take it down.
Nothing says Christmas like all day long.
If you want to see some of my ornaments, go to my Instagram page, Nicole Spag, and I have a stories category called my Hallmark ornaments, and I show you my tree.
Yeah.
Not all of them. That's not even close to all of them, but it's one of my little joys in life, and I take the joy where I can find it. We got Jitter. Jitters. Oh, jitter, sexy jitter.
Whoa, look at Jitter.
When we bought
Speaking of antiques.
when we bought
Hubba.
our house, I didn't want a pool. My wife wanted a pool, so we compromised and got a pool.
I love it. That's what marriage is all about. All about compromise.
I love it. Barefoot philanthropist.
Philanthropist?
God, I can't say that word. Why can't I say the word?
Phil.
And
Throw. Pissed.
Okay. I find it really difficult to get accurate cuts with Japanese saws. I'm thinking of replacing them with Western saws. Any advice on what to try before I have to purchase new ones?
Ask someone else.
You need to talk to William or Wilbur Pan.
Ask someone else is the first thing I'd recommend, because I'm not the person to ask. They are very different in how they feel in hand, and it does take a little bit of time. And that said, sometimes one just works better for you than another. And if you're not comfortable on the pool
movements
and maybe the being from the US, I guess, you're probably just naturally, anytime you've had to pick up a saw, it's been a push style saw. So maybe it's just not going to compute for you, and you should sell them and go to, a Western style. But it is worth actually talking to the people who use them. And if you can find, I don't know if Wilbur has any of his talks that he's done in some kind of published form on YouTube, but Wilbur Pan, a good friend of ours, does a lot of discussions and teaching people.
Woodworking in America and talked about Japanese saws.
Yeah, so listen to the tips and tricks from those people, because there may just be some simple things that you don't know you need to do that would help you understand and get that sort of the sensation, the tactile sensations you need to make that a successful thing. Don't give up on them just yet. Just go to a good resource, try again, and then if it doesn't work, don't be afraid to break up with them and go back to Western.
You have our permission.
Yes, you do.
Breyer said that sign looks really cool, and I would like to have one in the shop.
There you go.
So
done deal.
All right.
We also need to contact him and find out can he make them in volume and what that would cost.
Justin said my table saw has a lump in the middle of the table, giving accuracy a thing I've never heard before. But then he said I got a planer and I had strip bolts and couldn't get the bolt back in properly in the blade area. Did I miss something on that question?
Planer. We're talking about a table saw,
and then we're
talking
about a planer.
And I think I'm unprepared to answer that question.
Okay, we're unprepared. Sorry, Justin. If you want to clarify any of that,
it's tough to type and get everything in correctly. So I get it.
Yeah.
Brian G asked what the sign was in my home shop. That is indeed a map of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
That's been in my office for ages. When my office
right above the red tool chest.
When my office got a lot smaller, I couldn't hang as many things on the walls, and that's now in the shop.
And if I could pan up, I can.
Oh, I forgot. The picture's actually larger.
Yes, so you can see above his little nerdy geek signs, and then over to the far left, that is the Bob's Burger picture that's hanging in Bob's Burgers.
More importantly, that's my road wheel set up there. Looking beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
All right, isn't that exciting?
It's so exciting. Yeah, so exciting.
You'd be more excited if you knew how much they cost.
I don't want to know. Don't tell me anything. Hey, and we forgot to mention, I just want to show this cute picture of Oreo because he just has no F's to give, because he is laying on a one of those guillotine paper cutters.
That's our paper cutter.
So Mark did a demo about flush trimming in Guild Plus. Was it last week already?
Yeah, at least.
Talking all about kind of the missing manual of flush trimming. So if you're a Guild Plus subscriber, you can go watch that demo. Was Oreo in any of the video? He just decided to pose for the photo.
It depends. Yeah, actually, I think he did jump on the table.
Did he jump up at one time? So
that's what he does.
So yeah. Let's see what else we have. Hal. Follow on to my question from the guild meeting. The cabinet project. Can the leg levers be replaced with casters so it can be moved with the saw? Yeah. Would height need to be reduced to fit it?
So he's talking about the table saw cabinet in the guild.
Right.
You have to do the math. A lot of times casters can add as many as like 3 to 4 inches in height. This has to be, so the weird thing about most table saws is you've got to clear the rail. The rail sits low, and then the extension wing is up a little bit behind that rail. So you have to have a situation where you can actually get the cabinet under there, and whether that comes down to temporarily lifting the table up, sliding it in, and then bringing it back down, or do you just make the thing short enough that it can clear the rail, and then now you just have a big gap in the back, and you could just kind of use scrap as shims to use it as additional support for your extension wing. This is all very saw specific, so you're going to have to work out the math, and it also depends on the kind of casters you use. So this is something to be concerned about for sure. Right now, the way it's sized, it will slide under without casters, so that means it's probably going to be a little bit too tall if you use my numbers and then have casters added to it, unless you restructure and maybe try to recess the casters under the cabinet, but then you're losing some of the capacity for storage under there because you're raising the bottom a little bit. It's a bit complicated when you want to change, from what we currently have, but it can be done.
So Keith, who was in our first class, he has my back. Did I get a bamboo 3D printer yet? I have not.
No,
I have not.
we got to sell the old ones. If you could sell half of your old printers, you would have enough to get at least one
But then I have
Bamboo
to sell
Labs.
it. I don't want to sell it. Any of you guys want to buy a
I know.
Versa printer?
There's a robot litter box sitting in the garage
Yes.
that missed its return window. That's
It
brand
was going
new.
to cost me $200 to send back. It made no sense to send it back.
You know what makes less sense? The box just sitting in the garage.
Well, what if the other one goes dead?
What if the cat goes dead? Then we have 2 litter boxes for nothing. There's a lot of what ifs.
Hey, by the way, we're planning a little something. If you're local, Ava, we have a lot of Girl Scout cookies to share with you. Meaning,
Not to share.
not to share.
She wants to sell them
I want
to
to
you.
sell them to you. So Mateo made a little. Come get some Girl Scout cookies and meet the Wood Whisperer. We are going to be at the shop tomorrow, and we're going to be there. I said to Ava, we're going to be there from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and she's going to be there to sell cookies. And I also adding, if you are a strong individual, you could be a woman too and be a strong individual. I just need 4 strong people to help me lift the new laser onto its bed.
Todd just said if you're getting rid of that robo litter box, maybe we could work out a deal. We got to ship it to him.
I don't mind shipping it to him.
Then let's work out a deal.
Let's work out a deal,
Because I
Todd.
want the thing out of my garage.
It's a good litter box, and it even came with bags.
She just bought 2 because she wasn't sure which one she wanted,
Yeah.
and it turned out we were happy with the one that she got, and this
I
one
just
was
set
never
it.
even used.
That one came. So the one that's in the box came late. I had already set up the first one. I'm like, that's fine. But then this one's a good one too.
All right, let's talk, Todd.
All right. So anyway, tomorrow, Saturday, March 29th, we are going to be at the shop from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m.
We are?
Yes.
That's a really long time.
I know. But I got a lot of work to do, and I got a lot of cookies to sell.
Okay.
So come meet Mark. If you want, reach out to me, Nicole@thewoodwhisperer.com, if you think you can help us lift this laser from Eon.
But you also need to have 4 people
Yes.
at the same time.
Yes, at the same time.
All there.
Yes, that's why I want them to
As
email
opposed to
me.
like a strong person at 10, then a strong person at 11. They all need to be coordinated.
I just need some local muscle just to lift this laser.
Yeah.
So if you are available tomorrow,
And you got them biceps.
you got the biceps. Hell, I think I could lift it. I mean,
What's Keith Keegan doing? He's
he's not local.
no, but he's got muscles. I've seen him.
Keith is not local.
Keith can probably handle a load.
You know,
Keith does a
Chris-
lot of CrossFit. You know what they do in CrossFit?
Chris V is local.
Do you know what they do in CrossFit?
Yeah.
They lift lasers as part of their routine exercise.
do.
Yes. So I'm sure Keith could help us out.
So anyway, we're trying to get this laser set up. our biggest challenge right now is just getting it on the base.
Yeah, once it's on the stand, we'll take it over from there.
It's like 400 some odd pounds. So we just need
It's not bad though. If you literally have 4 people,
Yeah, if you have 4 people.
each person no more than like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
So, and I will give you a box of cookies for your help.
Yep. For all those calories you burned.
Yes.
Lifting a laser.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, are we done?
Not really.
I'm ready to
but
leave.
Yeah, I know. I
got
know.
things to
There
do.
was a lot of questions that we missed. Let's just this one. When they say question, I feel bad. Mark, what's your method of sharpening a hand plane blade? I'm leaning towards Rob Cosman's method. 62 seconds to sharpen.
That's 32 seconds to sharpen.
Sorry, 32. I added an extra.
I would go where you're leaning. I mean, my method, I use Shapton water stones for the most part. I have a couple of low grit diamond stones that I use for like reflattening those Shaptons, and I use a guide. The one I have that I actually really like a lot is the Woodpecker's Guide. But the most important thing with sharpening is to find a system, stick with it. They're all going to work, right? There's very few sharpening systems out there that are going to lead you down the wrong path. So find one that works, stick with it. Don't worry if it takes 32 seconds or 64 seconds or 5 minutes. Most of them, once you get proficient at them, will allow you to just jump in and get something sharp, right? Whether it's with a guide or freehand or with a machine of some kind.
We're going to do rapid on this. Do worry about the mess you're leaving wherever you're doing this at.
Nah, that's fine. The kitchen is a perfectly acceptable place to sharpen. That said, do you like the fact that now that the shop isn't attached to the house, I don't sharpen at home anymore?
Yeah.
I do it all. I confine my mess to the shop.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's the jumping around and the fact that this is one of the like negatives of an environment like YouTube is you quickly see, oh, that looks better than what I have, right? And you change, and now you have to learn something new. It's just more important to stick. Finishing is the same way. Like, don't keep jumping around. Get good at the one method, right, or the one finish, and then go to the next one. And then eventually you'll be able to choose your favorites, but there's no reason, especially with sharpening, to be jumping around.
And because Tommaso asked a legit question.
Oh, are you sure though?
Do you use any boom-based dust collection? I'm thinking of one for my table saw and wing-based router table and looking for ideas.
So I used to have the boom arm.
You did have the boom
for
arm
the dust extractor.
with the
Festool, yeah. But I actually found that to be cumbersome, and I had it for years, but it really fell out of favor, and I prefer to just have the hose just kind of wrapped up on a smaller scale, and I don't have this big ass thing in the way. The only other place that I may embark on some kind of a boom dust collection is at the CNC, because I've got big CNC or big dust collection, and I have to have something overhead and ideally something that kind of swings a little bit so it can follow wherever the gantry is moving. So I will be doing something like that to help the CNC out, but outside of that, that's it. I think that could be really handy for stationary things. If you have a stationary sanding setup and you could attach something to a wall, man, that would be nice. But I never sand in the same place, and I'm always moving around. So that's why the CNC is the only candidate for something like that.
You're moving around because you want a surprise.
Nope.
Jack Dalby says, I made a birdhouse that was hand painted with acrylic or markers and need to clear for outdoors. Have shellac, lacquer, and spar urethane. Any teeps for teeps?
Any teeps? You got them teeps? Sorry. Okay.
Tips for keeping color from running.
What I'm trying to do is not go down the path of the jokes I want to go down.
I know.
But I'm restraining. If this were a private moment, we would have a lot of fun in the next 5 minutes.
I said a tattoo.
Okay. So it's acrylic.
Acrylic.
You'd have to be careful with acrylic because that is not easily
It's acrylic and markers, like.
Yeah. This might be the same answer that I gave Bobby. That if you're going to use something solvent-based like a lacquer or shellac, that it can be done. You just have to be very careful with those initial coats because you don't want the stuff to kind of just flow out, right? Acrylic is a little bit tough like that.
What did you put on the zebra wood carving contemplation bench that we ended up using as a
Epiphanes, I think.
epiphane.
But I think what we're talking about is something that gets sealed first, because what did you mention? Something about outdoor?
Yeah, it's going to be, it needs to be
birdhouses.
clear for the outdoors.
So a lot of times the shellac and the lacquer is like a pre-coat. You're just using it to seal. And the reason you do that and not the oil-based product is because the oil-based product takes forever to cure. So it's sitting in that liquid state on top of whatever you're trying to seal in. Something that dries very quickly is definitely more attractive for that, because you can kind of lock that color in and then build something on top of it. So that's why I would still be in favor, probably in this case, shellac, and then coat with your outdoor finish, whatever that may be. But you still want to be very, very careful, and especially with those acrylics, you want to make sure that you're not going to do something that's going to cause the acrylic to like bunch up and do weird things. This is a little beyond my comfort zone of advice working with acrylics.
I would try it on a sample, try a sample board.
Definitely a sample. Aren't there acrylic sealers, like a specific acrylic sealer that you might be able to build up
I wonder
a clear
if
coat?
is Mod Podge? I
don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is? That's a crafting.
That's why I don't know what that is, Nicole.
I have some of it.
I am not a crafter. I'm a fine woodworker.
You're crafting. Mod Podge. I get it at Joann's, and it.
Do we have a frame rate thing happening?
I don't know.
It looks on my screen like we have a weird low frame rate thing happening. Is the video we're putting across look like it's a low frame rate?
I don't.
Someone let me know.
I don't know.
It looks
we
odd.
We are.
No, it's got nothing to do with the green screen. Let's finish off the questions.
All right,
We're running late.
Last question is from Ed. Getting a new Festal Domino.
Good for you.
Is there much of a learning curve?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
But don't just
the learning curve.
read the manual or watch a video.
Yeah, the learning curve also depends a lot on your background.
Yeah.
If you've made a lot of traditional mortise and tenon joints, you will very quickly see the potential for the domino, as it makes that job very quick. If you're a new woodworker and you're making the domino your first sort of foray into mortise and tenon joinery and loose mortise and tenon joinery, yes, there's going to be a learning curve, because you're learning the basics of mortise and tenon joints, but then also learning how to operate this tool. So it just depends on where you're coming from. You got plenty of videos. What's his name? Sedge over there at Festool has a lot of great video tips on Instagram. They of course have no shortage of resources, like just in general on YouTube. And I've got videos that I've done using the domino. I advise seeing, certain, excuse me. I got to clear my voice. Seek out the videos that are like a domino tutorial, but also look at the domino being used in projects. And I think when you see the real world use cases for it, that's when it really starts to make a lot more sense.
Look, outdoor Mod Podge. I just linked it in the chat. So maybe try that, Jack.
Okay.
So, hey, we're not necessarily, we started, well, yeah, we
just a few minutes late.
Just a few minutes late, but we enjoy you. So we hope you enjoy hanging out with us on your Fridays.
Yeah.
And anything parting wisdom, or I like your shirt.
Thanks. It's Back to the Future.
It's such a subtle,
and cycling.
like, this is how he finds his people.
You
by
see the
way.
bike? If you notice what's going on here, we can be friends.
Yeah. Come by the shop tomorrow.
With conditions. Okay, well, I got to go clear my throat.
All right, go clear your throat.
Okay.
I'm pretty much done with coffee anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And if you do come by the shop tomorrow, a thing that I just found out today, right now, that we're doing, I'll be so excited to see you.
Hey, and you know what? I'll even give you one of these prints.
Oh, you stop by, you get a free.
I'll give you
free
a print if you come by.
That's a good way to do
and
it.
help us move the laser.
I like it. Only for laser people, or what if they buy cookies?
If they buy cookies, I'll give them a free print too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, come on by. Buy some cookies.
Ava's like,
Lift some heavy crap.
I gotta sell these cookies. No, she's not. I'm like that. I'm like, I gotta sell these cookies.
Hey, next year.
We're not doing this
Next year?
next year. I'm done.
Can we not?
I'm not doing it. I'm done.
Every weekend, it's the plan to go sell cookies. That never happens.
Because then it rains and it...
Guess what it's doing
like,
tomorrow?
Is it raining?
Yes.
We'll be inside the shop and you can buy cookies there.
Yeah, we have a roof.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks for
right.
hanging out with us, everybody. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for your support.
Bye.
And we'll see you later. Bye.
How do I turn this off? Oh, there.